So here it is, the fourth or fifth podcast, the special postseason, mid-draft, pre-free agency spectacular.
Longest name for a podcast ever.
It's you will put it all in the title when you post it. And that voice is the voice of Tyler, name I can't pronounce the last name. We'll just call him Tyler I am of course Ha Chow.
And I am Mofo Taiken.
Yes, Mofo Taiken.
Mofo Taiken.
That's his actual name.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole Chris part is just a cover for his true name.
Yeah, Chris. Whose name is Chris? That's stupid.
So I never even heard of that name. It's
Me either.
not very common in Canada, so, you know.
So as we begin here, Tyler's on the clock.
I am.
He is.
We're gonna have a podcast draft right here.
First ever live draft pick, assuming I can figure out who the fuck I want to take left in this cesspool.
Probably Ben Hernandez.
I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to take Chris Carr out of Alabama. That's going to be my pick.
He's so happy right now.
All right, so speaking of the draft and non-boring second-round picks, we're through the entire first round, which is super impressive, by the way.
It was amazing pace this year.
It was like 22 picks in like a day.
I know. It's impressive. I'm going to say it's because Thug's not a GM anymore, and he always held the draft up. That may or may not be true.
And Baldwin always does that.
Oh, yeah, and he didn't have a single pick, so, yeah.
There you go.
Fuck you, Baldwin.
Ooh, man.
This is what drafting looks like without you. It looks awesome.
He's never going to listen anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, there you go.
I could just say the worst things about him, and he would just be like, oh, yeah, Tyler's cool. Whatever.
He lives in Arizona. That's pretty much a good enough insult.
No, he doesn't. He lives in Louisiana.
Yes,
well,
dude.
he goes to school in Arizona.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Come on, Hodge.
No.
Why the hell does he like Arizona so much?
Because he's from there, I think.
Well, he's got terrible taste then, because that place sucks. Fuck Arizona.
All right, but who do you guys think had the best draft out of everyone so far?
I like the Warriors, obviously. I mean, when you have 2 top 5 picks and you actually pick 2 guys that I like, it's a pretty.
But you're the same guy who keeps going laugh out loud, Jeff Fisk in the chat.
Yeah.
And, I'd say the Nets, but only because Jerome Berry should not have been the 7th pick. He should have been gone before, like maybe 4 guys ahead of him. He's probably the 3rd best player in the draft.
You think so?
I'm on the opposite spectrum. I don't think he's good enough to be picked there. I don't like him.
I think that's about where he should be picked. So I'm right in the middle of you guys.
I don't really like Henry Moore. I don't know. I'm not feeling it with him.
I think Jerome Berry just reminds me a lot of Angel Doty, and there's some hurt feelings there. So
he's way worse on defense, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Plus, I feel like LeBron Jr. was kind of like went a little earlier than he should have. So
well, obviously
that was predictable. That was so predictable.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Berry's better than him.
Well,
you think so? Why?
Well, he's 19. He's got a good offense, obviously. He can rebound. He's, like, got a big enough size. You know, I mean, he'll take a few TCs on his defense, but he's already, like, a good scorer. And he can rebound, which is nice.
See, I think LeBron Jr. He's actually a pretty good prospect. I mean, you know, he has that look to him where he could become another 6-man type at worst case scenario.
He's very, very versatile.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I think he'll be a good 6th man, but that's not like a top 5 pick. You don't use your top 5 pick on a 6th man.
I think 6th man is probably his floor. I think he could be way better than that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, he looks like a little better version of Robert Bacon, who went number 1 overall last year, so let's just keep that in perspective.
Let's not bring up Robert Bacon. It's just depressing.
It really is. It's sad. Although Bacon actually played decent last year, even with his terrible, terrible stats. Maybe it's because the Nets had nobody else.
Come on, Tyler. He sucks. Don't sugarcoat it.
He shot a good percentage.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Well, maybe he was just afraid of shooting.
That's all. All I will say about him is he shot a good percentage.
I think an interesting pick is Overlock. Like, what do you think about him? I mean, I know he's young and he's got a lot of potential, but do you think he'll meet that potential? Or
I think he was a reach at 4.
Now, see, I'll go. I'm once again on the opposite end of the spectrum. I like him more than I like Castanon.
Really? Explain that to me. Explain it, please.
If I had the number 2 pick, I would have selected Overlock. I just don't.
Oh, you're killing me, Tyler.
Castanon.
I disagree on that one.
Well, yeah, there's gotta always be the weirdo in the podcast. I mean, so.
I mean, what makes them better than Castanon?
He's 1 year younger, basically. Seems like the only,
But he can't shoot and he can barely play defense.
Yeah, but with him, I feel like he'll be able to score more. And this is, I know you're gonna say, well, Castanon has better offensive
can already
ratings.
score better, yeah.
Right. But the thing with Castanon is with his rebounding and his inside, I'm a big believer in the better your inside is as a point guard or a shooting guard, the worse your actual inside scoring is going to be. And that doesn't hold true for like the star players, like the Tyreek Evans, and they can do whatever the fuck they want because they're just good. And maybe Castanon will be one of those. But it just worries me when I see a point guard who has C or higher rebounding, because that's about the limit that you can hit. I don't know if you've ever toyed around with FBB and actually messed with the rebounding ratings, but their actual rebounding ratings, they can't go over like 50 at a point guard. So to get higher rebounding, you need more strength and you need more jumping, and those also affect your inside. But those even though they raise your inside attribute, they have a negative sense in scoring ability. Cause
I know what you mean.
When have you ever seen someone who won the slam dunk contest being like a 20-point per game scorer without at least like A-, B+?
I agree with you. If a guy's in a dunk contest, it's a bad sign.
Right, unless he's like a star, unless he's, but
Yeah.
for the most part, it just worries me when I see someone. That's why I like Overlock, even though he might not be able to rebound as well. He'll probably be able to score a little bit better, if that makes any sense.
I just don't think he'll be able to score at all until he gets his shooting up, though. I don't care what his inside is.
He's got to work on his outside. And
Maybe, but
I mean, he's good. I think he'll still be good. Like he's a long-term.
I agree.
Right.
But I think Castanon is going to be better.
I think Castanon's a star point guard in the league.
Could be. I could be wrong. I also still hate Gary Hamilton, so I guess I'm not the right person to be asking about point guards.
The future MVP, Gary Hamilton.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I like him.
He could be.
I will make a name bet with either one of you right now that nobody with Gary Hamilton as a starting point guard will win the EBL title. And that'll be like a 10-season name bet maybe. But either way, I will make that with someone if either one of you wants to take it.
You better write that down somewhere because that's going to be hard to remember
It's a good
way
thing.
down the road.
Boy, it's a good thing.
You said Gary Hamilton won't win a title? Is that what you said?
Gary Hamilton will not win a title as a starter.
During his whole career?
During his whole career. Ever.
I'll make that bet. Hell
All
yeah.
right. All right, cool. We'll post that. We'll post that after the podcast.
Well, we got to put a limit on this because it'll take like 3 years, real time.
Good.
The limit is whenever he's not starting anymore.
Yeah.
How about we make it within the next 10 years, 10 seasons?
Within the next 10 seasons? Yeah, that'll be that's fine with me.
That'll
All right.
probably be how long he's starting anyway. So
Yeah.
We got to make the name bet longer than 2 weeks though if we're gonna make it that long.
Oh yeah, no, probably. I say like 2 or 3 months.
Let's make it like 6 months or something.
6 months. All right, I'm down. Let's do it.
Why not? Why not?
Best name bet ever. Best name bet ever. All right.
Anyway, speaking of point guards, what about Henry Moore? I know obviously Jerry likes him, but I mean I know he's 18, and his base is like okay, but I don't know. It seems like kind of a gamble. Like you're putting a lot on his potential and not his actual abilities.
It was a reach for sure, but you got to look at guys like Grundy and other 18-year-olds in the past, and they just always develop into elite players. It seems like, and he's banking on more becoming that.
He's got a good. I don't like his inside. I think he needs to score. Either his
You're
outside
right.
needs to go way up, or he needs to develop a little bit of inside at least.
I don't like anything about him right now. I think Jerry's just banking that he's going to have huge training camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I mean, I know he's not going to have to play for a while because they got Meacham and Rose to cover for him for a little bit, but I don't know. It seems like, I guess I don't know. I don't know if he'll ever really be a good starter in the league.
I don't think he's that much worse than Overlock though, to be honest.
I like Overlock a lot more personally.
Yeah, I think Jerry should have tried to trade down because he could have got Harry Moore at 12 or 13 probably.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I wanted to trade up, and I think Moore would have dropped to 13 pretty easily.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if all those
I
teams,
agree.
almost none of them needed point guards anyways.
Right.
Yeah, you guys are right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's always, risk Because a lot of people draft based off age and potential and don't really look at much else. And I'm not accusing Jerry of doing that, but, who's to say someone who does do that wouldn't have spotted more also and just jumped up and snagged them.
The thing is with Jerry, like you guys said, he has the luxury to make a pick like that because he's got Rose and Meacham ahead of him. He doesn't need more for at least 2 or 3 years, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
it's not a huge risk pick, really.
No, it's not a risk. It just seems like a reach. Like he could have got someone better, but I guess there wasn't. It wasn't need.
He doesn't need anything else. He's good everywhere.
Yeah. So I think it was a decent pick. It could either work out really great or it's just going to be a bust. To take someone like that in the top 6 picks, there's no real middle. It's either going to hit really good or it's going to hit really bad. So
yep, definitely.
Yeah, that seems about right. So I guess we could talk about. The Warriors, well, I guess we could talk about all 3 picks, but the first 2 are obviously a little more important. Not to knock on Jeff Fisk. I mean, I know that 6'10", 207-pound shooting guard. I don't know what's going to come out of that.
I didn't even notice he was 6'10". That's
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how he got picked ahead of Bill Luck or a couple of people that.
I don't mind that pick. I really don't mind that pick at the end of round 1 because if he becomes a great player, then you got his bird rights.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
He's 18.
Might as well gamble on it.
Yeah, and the Warriors don't really need much else. I don't know how Reale's done it, but he's turned this.
Reale, he's a great GM, most underappreciated GM in EBL right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyways, as much as we all love this 6'10", massive, skinny, lanky shooting guard,
right?
I like. Obviously, I thought Mike Reynolds was probably the best player in the draft.
I think that's a consensus. He was the number 1.
Yeah, and but I don't know about Amato. I mean, I know he needed a big man, but
really, you're not sure on Amato?
Well, no, I mean,
Amato?
he was the best big man, but I don't know. I thought, well, I don't know. I guess it makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm just really high on Barry more so than you guys.
Me and Cece argued over Amato and Ryan, which one's the better big man, and I think Amato is clearly the better player.
I'd agree with that.
Oh yeah, he's better than him. Let me check my original rankings somewhere.
Amato's got a great base, and he's got the height, he's got the size. He could play.
Exactly.
He could play center, but he's not too fat to where he can still play power forward. I mean,
he's not weak at anything. He could even handle and shoot outside a little bit.
Yeah, he's really not bad. He reminds me a lot of Nate Stout from last year. That's almost exactly how Stout looked.
Maybe even better than Nate Stout will be.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I kind of like Ryan though, but he kind of reminds me a bit of Robert Rojas too, which is not good to remind me of. But he's younger too. He's 19, so I don't know. We'll see. I guess they'll be compared a little bit during their careers.
They might both pan out really well. You never know. So
I think they both could. I mean, I like Ryan a lot too, but Cece was saying he should have went 2nd or 3rd. I mean, I don't understand that at all.
No, I don't.
I think at 11 he's an amazing pick, though. That's an amazing
I like
guy.
I like Amato's handling too, which helps a lot.
Yeah. Ryan,
I like a big man that's not gonna have F- or outside helps a lot because that means he can make his free throws. So you can't just foul him over and over and over and over again.
Well, he might be able to make his free throws. You never know. He could just have a bunch of points in 3-point shooting and none in jump shot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
But usually they're decent. Like he can shoot 70% Like that's pretty good.
Ryan was definitely a steal dropping out of the top 10.
I don't know how Dave Hampton went ahead of him.
See, that's what I was going to say. I normally don't question Karachi, but that's bad.
Well, B- rebounding is just a bad sign especially when a guy's 7'2" and 244 pounds.
I mean,
he bought into the inside scoring probably.
But Ryan has that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
And he could rebound a lot better.
Yeah.
And his defense is the same. And he's younger.
And his outside is better.
Maybe he's one of the GMs who bought into the scouted potential because it's deep.
Okay. Yeah,
that might be it.
That's I don't dig the scouted potential at all. I don't think I've ever once looked at potential on a player since EBL 1.
I didn't even.
I don't look at potential ever.
I didn't even notice Ryan had deep potential until you guys just said something. So.
Yeah. I don't even remember the last time I looked at somebody's rated potential. I don't remember at all.
But GMs evaluate players based on their scouted potential still, which I just don't understand.
They shouldn't.
I don't get it at all.
Oh, it's bad.
No, it's just silly. You're all silly for doing that. Anyone listening to this, it means nothing.
You know who
Haran Iverson had F potential, just so you know.
Right.
Exactly.
And
Proof alone right there.
He turned out decently, I suppose.
I guess he turned out okay. He's done a few things. There was what was the pick that I didn't like? Oh, I didn't like SC's pick of Eric Bauer so early at 9.
Why not?
I don't get it, I guess. I don't get what the big deal is with him.
He's 19, he's got good offense, and
good size.
Yeah.
But he can't rebound, which for a small forward is actually somewhat important.
And the main thing is he's got Chris Willis already at small forward, who's looking really good.
Yeah, that's true.
Why doesn't he need Bauer?
Well, maybe he's going to move him to shooting guard after
Because he could
spell out.
Yeah, he could have used a shooting guard more. I'm not sure who was left at shooting guard.
Yeah, Gary Bell at shooting guard. I mean, that's fine for at least a couple more seasons.
Well, yeah, I guess. I'm not.
He was an all-star. Wait, no, he wasn't an all-star.
No,
I think Bauer was one of the best players left. Well, obviously Ryan I think he's better than Bauer, but
he didn't need him, though.
He's probably the second or so best player left on the board. So maybe he just wanted to take the best guy available and trade him.
Yeah.
It could be the case.
The Hornets don't have any need for any big man right now. They're set, so.
Yeah, well, if you really... Yeah, I guess Michael King's pretty good.
Michael King's decent, and he's still, they're still both 23, him and Gonzalez, so there's still room to grow there.
That's true.
And Rodriguez off the bench, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it for him. I don't like, well, there was another pick I didn't like. I think it was Fuentes from the Knicks.
I hated that pick. Hate that pick.
And,
I don't understand it.
They did a pretty good job with Castanon, picking pretty early, but then they come back with Fuentes.
I think he really wanted Ryan, and then he just settled for Fuentes without realizing that he probably should have traded the pick.
Yeah, because there's really no one left at that point that would have really helped him that much, and there were plenty of people trying to trade up.
Definitely.
Yeah, Fuentes is kind of like doesn't really stand out. He's kind of got a generic. I mean, I guess he's got an okay base, but.
He just looks really generic. If he were still there at the beginning of round 2, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah, I mean he looks like Armando Poole basically.
He looks like every other generic standard small forward that has ever come out of this draft, and has never done anything.
Any draft of the last forever.
You know what? I don't understand why he even made a pick there because his team is ready to win right now. Why does he need a 19-year-old project on his team?
Right.
Why not trade the pick for someone he needs?
Yeah, absolutely. Because there were plenty of people trying to move back into the draft.
Plus, he's got Roser and Koto that they're not old men,
And he's got
These
Doty.
guys are 24.
And Doty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
he really needs a center still. I mean, center's horrible for him. Cheng Feng is not good.
I like Fang. I would take Fang.
You like Feng?
Fang would
I
start
like him as a backup, but not as a starter.
See, I love his defense. I love his defense.
I'd like him if he rebounded a bit better.
I think 10 rebounds a game for B- isn't bad. If he develops that any more, even a little bit.
He played a lot of minutes, though. 10 rebounds in 35 minutes isn't that good.
Yeah, that's true. But,
I mean, it helps when you get favors next to you to grab, 13 a game,
yeah.
But he's got to get better at that if he wants to.
He's also on the decline. Already. He's on the decline. He declined the past couple of training camps.
Yeah.
No,
it's hard to believe he's already 28, and he's only been in the league for 3 years.
Yeah, his rebounding has never been a good thing for him.
No, but he hasn't really declined. His outside went down 1, but his inside went up 1. It used to be C.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So, if anything, I'd say he's improving. I'd much rather have him a little bit of inside than all that outside, so...
You can cut that part out and make me look like an idiot.
All right, well, we'll leave it in there. I like when you look stupid.
We're gonna add fireworks sound effects to really emphasize that part later on.
I'll directly link that timestamp to the post. That way, everyone can just make sure they listen to that part.
I guess we could talk about the last lottery pick, P.D. Harris, as he will be known from now on, because I've just decided that. And I like Pete Harris, except for his rebounding is a little weak. But
since when did 8 start being the end of the lottery?
Yeah, I'm confused.
8.
Yeah.
No, we talked about every other lottery pick already.
Was Charlie Clayton a lottery pick?
Yeah, so it's Clayton.
Oh, that was a lottery pick? Well, we'll talk about him after.
We didn't really talk about LeBron Jr. either.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
No, we talked about him. We talked about him enough.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, a little bit.
You guys are just ruining everything.
I have no memory. I can't even remember stuff from 20 minutes ago.
That's true.
There you go. All right, well, we'll talk about Pete Harris because he was picked higher. So obviously that means he's going to be better because that's just how numbers work.
Right.
So Pete Harris, what do you think?
He looks a lot like Fuentes, except a little bit better.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate description.
No, he looks
slightly better Ron Fuentes.
No, he looks more like Eric Bauer is who he looks like.
Well, I mean,
yeah, it's Eric.
I like him, but
him and Bauer are almost direct like clones of each other.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say, Bauer.
Well, you weren't far off with the other one either, so you could have just not. More of Mofo looking stupid on this podcast.
Yeah, I'm like zoned out right now, I guess.
What an idiot. Anyways.
Harris looks alright. He looks decent-ish.
He's a solid pick. There's nothing really wrong with it.
No.
Yeah. I can't really complain about anybody else that was available at that point being better or worse.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there might be guys that were a bit better, but like Ryan, but it's also a need thing. Like the Jazz have like pretty good big men, you know. So.
Well, they have Virgil Williams, a small forward, who's really good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Who's going to be their shooting guard this year? Do they have someone in free agency?
He's got Michael Carter-Williams.
That's right.
Yeah,
but
assuming he re-signs.
But he's going to play Dale Smith, the point guard, which I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get why he traded Shannon Scott for pennies and then is starting Dale Smith. And
I think that Dale Smith's a part of his master plan to become a title contender or something.
And
I still like Dale Smith. I mean, yeah, he lost, but I mean, first of all, Frank Layton is like an elite top-level point guard, and Smith is only 22. He shot already.
Come on, he was on a team with Derek Favors and Bart Roser, and he couldn't get out of round one.
Yeah,
that's just a lot about him.
Wow, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's still young. Jennings lost 16 playoff games in a row, so.
You always bring up Jennings every time.
I will always bring him up in any argument.
He deserved the hate. He deserved the hate until he started winning. You know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Smith will have the same thing, but I think he can win eventually. But
maybe.
You know, look, gone up every
everyone
season.
win eventually.
He's got good percentages and stuff. I don't know. I like him personally. I think he's got potential.
One thing about him is he doesn't turn it over ever.
Yeah, that is good. Good thing.
His percentages have gone up every year.
And he can actually play
it's got a good turnover to assist ratio.
He can actually
Devonta made one of my favorite picks of the draft. He picked Danny Young pretty late.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pick.
I had Danny Young. I had him ahead. I think he was like my third point guard on my list. Actually, I had him ahead of Henry Moore. So
if I needed a point guard at all, I would have taken Danny Young. But
why did he fall to 24? I don't get it.
I don't understand either. I think he probably should have been picked over Henry Moore, honestly.
Like if I actually would have needed a point guard, I would have taken him 13th. So that was a good pick to drop that far.
Yeah. I don't get how he went above both Thomas Thompson, or how he went below both Thomas Thompson and Henry Moore. Like, I just don't understand that.
Thomas Thompson's just inexcusable, but that's new GM. You got to give him a little.
Yeah, and I don't absolutely hate Thompson. I really don't, but.
I had him like really low on my list. I think
he's like late first, early second, probably.
Well, the thing about Thompson is he can also play shooting guard with his size.
I actually had Orlando Mosley ahead of Thomas Thompson on my list.
Wow.
Oh.
That's bad, and he's not even drafted yet now.
And he just got picked by Josh, Orlando Mosley.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, there you go.
Mm.
But, I mean, that's just my list. I've not exactly been 100% right on every list I've ever made, but...
I did like that. I did like the trade that Raider guy did for Shannon Scott, though.
That was a great trade.
On the opposite end of the spectrum there. I think that...
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to use your cap room. I mean, it's nice to try and sign... hope you steal a star, but if you can get somebody that you know is good and you're not really giving up that much,
And he still has a lot of cap left, so...
Yeah, he can still sign almost two guys to maxes.
Yeah.
He was talking to me about his plans. I think he's going hard after Song Nu.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Smart.
I think a lot of people should be doing that. And Joe Brake. And
I like
guys that are good, but those two are definitely the top.
I think I like Nu a little bit more than I like Brake.
Me too.
And... I mean, they're both obviously great players, but
Nu's he's the reigning first team all league center.
Yeah,
he's done that twice already too.
You can't beat that. I mean, and Joe Brake's on a little bit of a decline.
I mean, I always value shooting guards and small forwards ahead of big men personally, but I mean, he's obviously like probably one of the best centers in the league, if not the best center in the league. But
either him or Salvatore probably.
Yeah, him, Sal, and Omar.
Yeah.
And seem to be spearheading the centers aren't useless campaign.
Yeah.
Trying to make me look stupid.
But Joe Brake, it's going to be really interesting with him because I got some inside information about him and being involved in a trade.
Oh. Ooh.
Trade. Typical
If
Bauer.
he signs back with the Cavs.
Trading away his 24-year-old all-star giant.
He's getting a pretty good haul back for him, though. I don't want to reveal what it is, but it's a pretty big trade.
Well, it better be pretty big because that's a lot to give up.
I
don't know.
He's on a little bit of a decline. He's gone down 3 to 4 points per game every season now, other than his rookie campaign.
Yeah. But his talent's gotten a bit better around him too. He had different.
Last year he wasn't an option all season either.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did forget.
And
about
he took like 400 less shots, and his assists per game went up. So I think he sacrificed shooting for passing.
Blame Reifenberg.
You silly.
Reifenberg sent me a re-sign list today.
Yeah, I love that.
Just missed it.
Yeah.
We're only like halfway through the second round, but you know.
I feel bad for him. I sent him like a sorry PM.
Why?
And he wished him his best in his future endeavors on his way out.
I would have let him. Kept thinking he was a Bucks GM. That's why I don't commit to the league. But
yeah, that would have been kind of cruel.
thanks for your re-sign list, buddy. Hope you're active in free agency. And then you see him bid on all these players that he doesn't have a team for.
And then you just put illegal bid on every bid. Don't explain why.
Yeah, that would be pretty entertaining, but that'd be pretty mean too.
Right,
Yeah.
but I like mean.
So I guess we can finally get to my picks since that's the rounding out the lotto players. And I mean, obviously, I like my picks. Well, I don't like Stam. He's pissed me off because he went down at shooting guard. But I like my.
I told you that might happen. I warned you about that.
I knew it could happen, but I figured it was late, and by that point, the guys after him, none of them really.
What position was he originally at? Point guard?
Small
No, he's
forward.
at small
Small
forward.
forward.
He was
Yeah.
B+ defense.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I figured. Oh well, he's size like maybe. Anyways, I
Nope.
figured wrong.
Wrong.
So
He could go back up though. You never know.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of a lost
Charlie
one.
Clayton. I mean, the knock on Clayton is his age, obviously, but his skill set is really good.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I like
I don't know. I felt like he was the best player at that point that was left on the board.
Probably.
More than
So-
likely, yeah.
And his
And-
handling isn't good, but it's not the worst thing ever, so he could probably play a little bit of small forward if he had to. So
It could go up to like C. But,
yeah.
You know, he'll be more of one of those small forwards that's big and rebounds. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Maybe just a forward off the bench. I don't know. I'm going to see how he develops. And obviously I like Tommy Robinson. I don't know. I like his base and his age and size. It's a good.
His weight,
mix.
301 pounds.
Oh, he's so huge.
He's gonna bully
but
people. I guess.
I also like Rodney Main. I was pondering between like him, Carter, Robinson, and Stam at that pick.
Yeah.
But I figured I liked Robinson the best out of all of them.
If I were you, I would have taken Don Carter at one of those two picks.
I don't know. He's too.
He's so versatile. I love versatile players like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like him with big men, though, because they just all remind me of Adam Woodbury and all the other guys who don't pan out.
That's two-time All-Star Adam Woodbury for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like Adam Woodbury, but I don't know. I don't think Don Carter is any Adam Woodbury.
I think he might have some Terrence Jones in him eventually.
I think he's too big.
He's way too big to play point guard.
I would never have a 7-footer play my. Well, that's not true. If I got Adam Woodbury, I would back him up at point guard.
You're the guy who's dying to play Woodbury point guard. So,
But he is the only one. He is the only one.
but if
Also-
Carter develops into like B+ handling and his defense doesn't drop huge at point guard, why can't he play there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, but I think it probably takes a huge dip.
I prefer Tommy Robinson. Plus, I need more like real big men, anyways. And Carter's rebounding kind of makes him iffy as a starter ever.
You're bringing back Raheem Christmas, right?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna bring him back, but you know, he's a bit older. So is O'Brien. I'm planning more a little bit ahead too.
Right.
But I do like Rodney Main. I was considering him too.
Yeah, I liked getting him at 17.
I found he was
He's a
like
quality player.
I found like him and Robinson were pretty much interchangeable. Because Robinson was a bit younger. That was basically the only reason I took him ahead of Main.
Right.
Maine's
I
got
like
like
his outside too.
Maine's got like the generic big man skill set that you start with.
Right.
Training camp will decide how good he's going to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but at 17, that's pretty good to get a guy.
Yeah, very good value.
His skill set. I guess we go over the rest of the Kings picks while we're at it, since they had like 100 million of them this year. It felt like,
and none of them really stand out. So
I like
well.
I like Maine. I think he's and I like Dostal if his
Maine's a
rebound
good
can improve.
How do you pronounce that guy's name? Sang Meng?
Saying Ming.
Saying?
I think I'll probably pronounce it Sing Ming. That way I can speak.
You should probably just call him Haku because
I see. I get it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how I felt about him. I'm hoping he can be one of those guys that can kind of play a little bit of small forward, a little bit of power forward, maybe some center if I have to have him there. So.
Center's a stretch. But I like him as a shooting guard maybe and a small forward.
Yeah, I would say shooting guard at small forward seems like his.
I think he's just too tall to play shooting guard.
Nah, I don't mind 6'10" guys playing shooting guard. They hang around the league now these days.
Yeah, I guess.
Like Jeff Fisk.
Yeah, well there you go.
Right, true.
But Eric Smith, I don't like him. I mean, I like his skills, but I don't like the way his height and weight. Just I don't know if he could play shooting guard. I definitely don't think he could play point guard. So
he was more of just like a let's take him just in case something happens with him kind of guy. Because I was debating him, and there was no one really left with so much talent that it turned me off of not taking him. I guess Danny Young, was still there, but with Danny Young I didn't need like a true
traditional point guard.
Right. So I'd rather just take a shot on Eric Smith and see if he ever is able to become anything.
I'd rather have Danny Young personally, even if he's not as unique in his skill sets or what have you. Or I'd rather have had Lawrence Stamp at the time. Not
22
knowing
already
now.
too.
Yeah, the thing with me is, at least for this year and maybe even next year, I'm planning on trying to run an inside offense and seeing how I can do with that. So
yeah.
So
he reminds me of like JaMychal Reese, which is like in
Not
a bad
good
way.
thing.
Yeah,
Not a good thing.
Like a point guard that can't really handle, and his offense becomes less useful for it, and he's too short to play shooting guard.
Yeah. I mean,
but I could be wrong. Maybe his defense will stay. I don't know.
I figure if nothing else, at least this year, he could probably give me some good points off the bench. So, we'll see.
And I think that's all your picks. And
I
like Troy Dostal.
Troy Dostal.
If his rebounding goes up, he could be a good guy in the mold of guys that rebound and play defense, basically.
Yeah, he's very one-dimensional right now.
Yeah, and I don't mind one-dimensional players. I mean, Kim Birch is like my favorite player I've ever had. So
I guess when you're on the tail end of round one,
Yeah, it was literally the last pick, and I figured if there was any ounce of talent.
I mean, I'd probably have taken Bill Luck ahead of him, but
yeah. Me too.
I can't say oh, you were an idiot. You should have took whoever ahead of him because I got nothing against Dostal. He could be a solid bench guy at center, power forward.
I'm not a fan of him at all. I don't think he's going to turn out to anything.
Well,
sorry.
No, that's fine because he's. I didn't pick him. Hoping he'd be something. I just need him to be something at least for a few years. I mean, I'm starting Dick Johnson at center this year. I need as much defense behind him as I can get. So.
You know who I think he is? I think he's Bismack Biyombo version 2.
Yeah, and you know what? Biyombo has a cool name, so whatever.
Yeah, so suck on that.
Yeah.
I guess who's left? Keith Thornburg. I guess that's about the only first-round pick we haven't mentioned at some point.
And
what the hell he's even like?
The Blazers pick of their 2 picks, Lee Vito and Stephen Gaskell.
Well, we'll go over Thornburg first, and then we'll jump onto the Blazers.
Yeah, who wants to talk about the Blazers anyway? I mean, JB's boring.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like Kuwait more. So.
Yeah. Thornburg, I don't know. He looks like John Fields sort of guy already. But,
I love John Fields.
Or
so.
Henry Luna.
I convinced Koo that he could be his Henry Luna, which convinced Koo to take him.
Right.
That seems like, I don't know if I want a Henry Luna with the 20th pick, but I guess when you look at the rest of the draft, it's not really a whole lot to work with.
What's wrong with Henry Luna? I don't understand. What's wrong with him?
Well, there's nothing wrong with him. I don't know if I would take him maybe a bit further, maybe in 25th pick in the first round of the draft, but.
No, Henry Luna's a quality player. I don't care what you say.
I don't like Henry Luna. I don't like him at all.
Why not? What's wrong with Henry Luna?
He doesn't like his name.
Yeah, it just
Off the
reminds
bench, he is one of the better bench players in the EBL right now.
Well, yeah, but if you have to do that, there are guys like John Fields. There are plenty of guys who can do what Luna does, but with not as terrible defensive rebounding.
I disagree. I think Luna's very unique. I think he, if he played 25 minutes a game, he would score 13 to 15 points a game, which nobody else could do really.
Fields could. Chuck Shields could. Both of them. Fields and
I've had Fields. He can't do that.
Fields?
I started him for a sim. He can't do that.
He got me 17 points a game in 27 minutes a game his rookie season.
Yeah, his rookie season back like 6 years ago.
Right, which his attributes really haven't changed much.
He declined a lot last training camp. He was A inside, B minus outside.
Oh, all right, fine. I'll give you that one. But still, I mean, last year he averaged 6 points a game in 11 minutes a game on 48% shooting. I think it's still decent. I'm gonna start him this year once I sign him.
John Fields?
Yep.
I'll love seeing that.
All right.
I like John Fields. I really do.
All right.
He'll certainly score a lot of points.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, who else is going to score on that team? So
Dick Johnson.
Is he going to be your number one option in an inside offense?
In an inside offense, honestly, he might be.
I'd do it. Why not?
Yeah, why not at this point?
Sure. But enough about people that aren't Keith Thornburg. What do you think of Keith Thornburg himself? I mean, I like him, but obviously, there's like, if his defense and rebounding go up, it'd be great, but...
I think he'll be one of the better...
19, so...
He'll be one of the better offensive scoring centers in the league. Whether he's ever a true, good starter with his defense and rebounding, I'm not sure. Because with big men like that, it's just hard to tell. Sometimes their defense will go up, sometimes their rebounding will go up. Sometimes if you have a guy who starts at C+ rebounding, he will never fluctuate from that, so...
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's better than Zigborson or whatever his name is already.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Sigford Roy or whatever the hell his name is.
Sigurvaldsson.
Yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Either way, Kuhn needs a center pretty badly.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, Baldwin chimed in on the Henry Luna debate in the chat if you want to check that out.
Oh, good.
I guess he says he loves him. Oh, yeah, that's really funny.
Thanks, Baldwin. Appreciate that.
We both I had more playoff wins. No, actually, I didn't have more playoff wins. I can't even remember what OKC did in the playoffs, but anyways.
He lost to Denver again, as usual.
Well, there you go.
Story of Baldwin's life. How about that?
It's like his catchphrase. Anyways, Boucher, the next great Ivy League guard to enter EBL.
Boucher.
I like that pick. I like that pick a lot.
I do too. He's alright.
I really like Boucher.
Because he could be a good combo player off the bench at point guard and shooting guard.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he can rebound really good for a guard too.
Yeah.
Maybe he could even someday be like a small forward, like a small forward, obviously, but no, I like him. And he's older, so that's why he dropped, which could be a good steal down the road.
I could actually see him being a pretty good point guard if he ever went down that route.
Do you think he's better than Eric Bauer?
I would have, yeah. I mean, he happened to end up with them both, but I probably would have taken Boucher before I took Bauer. The only knock on him is his age. He's 22 already.
Yeah.
That hurts.
We can finally get to if only JB was here to talk about his own picks.
He would say Vito is good, Gaskell is good. That's it.
Yep. And then
I don't know about Gaskell. He's like Eric Smith. I feel like he's too short to play anything but point guard, and he can't handle.
Who Gaskell?
Yeah.
I like Gaskell.
I think he's not bad either.
Yeah.
And Vito, I'm sort of meh on too. 209 pounds.
He's so thin. I just hate thin big men. They just
not only is he thin, he also can't rebound yet. So
Vito looks like the small forward that I took, but not a small forward.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually like Miroslav better than both of his first round picks.
And Miroslav's interesting.
That's a guy like Henry Luna that he can at least rebound. So.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see with him. I'm interested in seeing on how he turns out.
Miroslav, he was C defense at center, so I just think he's a horrible defender everywhere, which doesn't really matter off the bench to me.
Yeah,
I think he'll be a good scorer, rebounder off the bench, which is more than you could ask for from a lot of guys. And since his defense doesn't matter, you could just slide him in at center, power forward, small forward,
whatever,
wherever you want to throw him in.
Right now, looking at the Blazers roster, I think Miroslav is actually his second best player.
Yeah, well, yeah. I imagine JB might be signing a few guys, or at least re-signing some guys. But yeah.
It's not going to be easy though. He's got $41 million in cap room, but it's not going to be easy.
No, it's definitely not. Is there anyone else we didn't go over? Oh, Paul Tinsley on the Cavs.
Why would you take another point guard when you've already taken one?
He moved him to shooting guard.
He moved him to shooting guard.
Where his defense goes down.
And his height goes the same, which is awful for shooting guard.
Yeah, that pick kind of made no sense.
Short. I don't know.
And he's got another short shooting guard there, Dave Callen, who looks the exact same.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I don't really understand that at all. Magoo, he does some things that question me. He does some things that seem like great moves. It's just you get a little bit of both with his GMing.
Yeah.
So
I find usually he's like a really good drafter, which is why Tinsley kind of confuses me as a pick. Like a lot of his picks that he made on the Suns, like they panned out. They've become like good players in EBL.
And I like the Don Carter pick.
Yeah, I love the Don Carter.
I like Don Carter will be good for him as a bench guy. I mean, he'll never be a starter, but
I love the Overlock pick. I mean, he really wanted Castanon, but the lottery just destroyed him. So
yeah, but Overlock's like not really like a bad consolation prize. I mean, he could end up being better than Castanon. I mean, I don't think he will, but it wouldn't shock me if he ended up having a couple big TCs and ending up better than him.
Yeah,
so.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. So
it would shock me, but we've been over that already.
Yeah, I just don't understand the Tinsley pick, but I mean, whatever, I guess.
We'll see what he does in free agency. He's got $28 million in cap room. I mean, he's got plenty of needs. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tinsley could easily be moved back to point guard and back up Overlock. So
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so you never know with that.
So I guess we could have our favorite second round pick of the guys picked, because going over all the second round picks is just silly.
Yeah,
I like Bill Luck. Bill Luck is my favorite second round pick. And CC's going to say I'm like sucking up to Jerry again, but I don't care. I like it.
Moko, who you got?
My favorite pick is the one that was just made was Danny Greer by Moron.
Yeah, I really wanted him with my pick. I was heartbroken that.
I guess with a second round pick, he's not bad, but that's like really, really banking on potential.
Yeah, well, he's 18.
And it's even more annoying because if it's a second round pick, it's kind of like, what's the point? Because you're just going to lose him.
Right.
It's almost you're better off hoping he goes undrafted and picking him up with an MLE.
But at pick 45, I mean that's no risk at all.
Yeah.
If he say he has a huge training camp this year, then you trade him for something.
Well, no one's going to trade for a second round pick.
I used to do it all the time. It's not very hard to trade second round picks.
Yeah, it's really not. I really like Karachi's pick of Hank Taylor. I think he could be something. I don't know. I think to grab him so late in the second round.
I don't really like any of the Lakers picks almost this whole draft. I'm not really feeling any of them. I don't know. I think Karachi's sort of losing his touch. I think.
Yeah, I mean he's been a good drafter in the past.
Yeah.
He also had top 5 picks in the past, where it's a bit easier to it's not exactly rocket science to figure out to pick Karan Iverson and Keith Frazier,
You would be surprised.
Come on now. Keith Frazier.
Well, Frazier was a little bit of a risk because
he was C+ defense.
Good. Yeah. Frazier was a huge risk, but you would be surprised.
AI was like not really too much thinking involved.
No,
he picked Lorenzo Clay in like number 13 or so.
Yeah, and Clay was a great pick.
Yeah.
I remember though the draft class when Karan entered the league. There were a lot of people saying they wouldn't take him number 1 overall because they were scared.
I remember only you saying that you would take him number 1. I remember saying only an idiot would not take Karan Iverson number 1 overall.
I remember a few people saying it.
Well, those people are.
Who said that? Come on, out them.
Yeah, let's hear. I want to hear who these people are so I can insult them.
I think they're all people that aren't in the league anymore. So
well, that's no coincidence.
Yeah. I don't. So I think Thug was one of them. I remember him saying that he hated Karan.
Well, we all know Thug's great drafting history. So L.J. Rose, Adam Woodbury,
Frank Perez,
Brandon Dawson,
Ray Segler, Brandon Dawson.
Hey,
Scott Thomas.
Although I think L.J. Rose is not as bad as people make him out to be, but that's
another. He's the number 1 pick overall. He's got to be better than he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not much worse than some of the guys in his draft class. I mean, I can't remember who was in his draft. I'd have to check it up. But actually, I think maybe I could find that pretty quickly. Let's see. What year was
what?
L.J. Rose. What year was he drafted?
2014.
Where is he? Well, Sarris. I mean, who's better than him? Shannon Scott, maybe. Jonas,
Yeah.
Alex Murphy. Yeah.
No, I'd take LJ Rose before I took Shannon Scott.
Yeah. So would
Because
I.
of defense? Because of defense or what?
I don't know.
I think in a similar systems to Scott, he would provide the same offense and at least slightly better defense. I mean, still not good defense, but better.
Yeah, and his assist to turnover ratio really isn't that much worse than Scott's.
Yeah. And
But he
he's been
can't
a lot
score
more,
like
he's
Shannon Scott.
been- no, but he's been a lot more consistent than some of the guys like Jonas or Julius Randle that were in that draft.
Right.
You know? I mean, maybe Gary Bell is better than him. Obviously, Birch is better than him because he brings what he brings, but
And
Alex
since I
Murphy's
drafted him.
being consistent too. I don't know. I find he's been very consistent, which is
Yeah.
an underrated attribute.
I agree. I agree with Hodge. I like LJ Rose. You know, maybe he's not the best number 1 overall pick, but that also wasn't the best draft class. So
He's certainly not the worst number 1 overall pick.
no, we have Robert Bacon and Juan Johnson for that. So
Yeah. And Harrison Barnes is probably
And
worse.
Max Wynn. Max Wynn is worse than Harrison
Yeah.
Barnes.
Max Wynn was a fine pick. I will not.
Juan Johnson.
Just shut up, man. Shut up.
I think Max Wynn is being underutilized at small forward.
No way. He is the most overrated player in EBL.
He should be a. He should
Really
be a,
should be a 6-man somewhere, and even then, he's like an okay 6-man. But
I'm gonna trade for him. He'll start
Oh,
once again.
he's-
Do it. I
I'm
hope
sure
you trade
Ron
for
will
him.
be happy for it.
You can see how bad he is.
Yeah, I don't.
You can witness it and feel it. You get the whole experience firsthand.
I think he was
Wonderful
great.
disappointment.
Probably the best number 1 overall pick of all time. So
Better than
well,
Curran, even.
yeah.
He's certainly the best Kings number 1 overall pick of all time.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. That's definitely that is a fact. So
You guys want to talk about the free agent class this year?
Yeah,
Let's
we
talk
might as
about-
well. Yeah. There's so many teams with cap room this year.
yeah,
There's
So-
the Heat, the Bulls, the Cavs, the Mavs, the Blazers,
yeah,
Raptors. I mean, all these teams are going to be competing.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Blazers and Mavs. Those two are going to be going at it a lot. I foresee.
Yeah, I think
They can
that'll
offer 3 maxes.
Yeah.
wringing each other's necks as we speak. So I guess let's all name like one sleeper free agent. My sleeper, I'm just gonna steal him now, is Robert Reedy. I think he could be a really, really good, somewhat cheap pickup for somebody to get.
I do really
Good
like
pick.
him.
Good pick. My pick is, I've mentioned in the chat already, is Lyle Devane.
Yeah, I also like Lyle Devane.
Because I think he's one training camp away from being an elite player, really. I think he could average at least 20 points a game if he starts, at least.
Probably.
I think he could be an elite swingman off the bench, but his defense, I don't think his defense will ever get better than maybe a B-.
I think you can live with his defense if he scores 25 points a game.
Yeah.
It's like J.R. Smith back in the day.
Well, I didn't like him then either. I thought he benefited from like great team around him.
J.R. Smith was a
when you're
man.
playing
Don't you dare defile him.
Well, it helps when you're playing with CP3. You can sort of lack on defense when you've got like an all-star every year guard on defense next to you, and whoever is
Yeah,
small.
I'll tell you a little secret about Chris Paul. He was an overrated defender.
yeah. I knew that one too. That's
Yeah. Anyways, I think J.R. Smith was in a different era when that level of defense wasn't as big a deal.
my sleeper pick this year for free agency is Alaric Freeman. Sorry, Hodge, but I think you're gonna lose him.
I don't think he's going anywhere because he's a loyal man with that 91 loyalty.
That's
How much
true.
can you offer him? What did he make last year?
I can offer him a 7-year max, $13 million a year if anybody asks.
No,
That's exactly how much I can
don't believe him. He can't do that.
It's millions of dollars. No, I think I could offer him like $6 million or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a
Hopefully
candidate
he'll
to leave,
decide.
sure.
Yeah, he's probably gone. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry, shouldn't have brought him up. No, I should have. I don't care.
you're a terrible person.
I
hate
know.
you.
I think that Otis Stone kid is going to be an underrated
Oh God!
commodity.
I swear to God, if you ever bring up Otis Stone one more fucking time.
I know you're going to sign him back in a week. So.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen.
Otis Stone. I'm trying to look at guys that are on like the Mavericks or Blazers that maybe you could steal early while they're bidding on other guys, but there's really not many worth even.
No.
Another guy I really like is Dorian Finney-Smith.
Actually, Banchero could be like a good guy if you could steal him from for a MLE.
But I think I'd rather have Finney Smith than Banchero because Banchero, he's proven what he is, which is nothing more than a bench guy. But
Yeah.
Finney Smith had a huge training camp last year.
Yeah, he did.
He's nothing more than a bench guy either.
I disagree. I think he could start.
For some teams, sure.
You
He's
better
got
have
defense.
good scoring around him.
A defense, B handling, B rebounding, B plus outside. I mean, what's wrong with him?
I don't know. There's nothing wrong with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan of Bijarno, but
Bejarano.
not as a starter. Banjo, whatever his name is.
Finney Smith has never averaged more than 15 minutes a game. He's never gotten a chance.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe he'll get a chance this year. Not with me though.
Some will probably give it to him.
Unless I lose to Lyric Freeman.
And then maybe.
I'm throwing all that MLE all over DFS.
Finney Smith is a mofo-approved signing for whoever who's listening to
Okay,
it.
well, there you go. Marcus Thornton should be signed by somebody.
I think Bald want to bring him back because he's got bird years.
He should.
I think Thornton's fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, big time.
Obviously, he's 37.
Well, yeah, but
I still think he's a useful combo guy off the bench. I mean,
Yeah,
he scored
that's
50
true.
points a game last year, and he was still efficient in doing it. In fact,
He's not
his
going
percentage
He's not going anywhere. He's got 13 bird years. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just felt like bringing him up because he's old, but good.
He is very old.
An oldie, but a goodie.
Yeah.
How about the quest for Dwight Howard to become EBL's first 40-year-old?
I like it. I like it a lot. I mean,
Someone needs to sign him. Someone needs to sign him to a 2-year minimum so he comes back next year.
Yeah.
I think JB will be signing him 20 bird years. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's
That's a lot
never
of
he's never changed teams ever in free agency. So good for him.
I don't think it'll start this year because I don't think people will be bidding the MLE or anything on him. So,
I don't know. I think someone might.
Yeah, I think there will be a few people who will. I guarantee it almost, actually.
Maybe.
You still got A defense, which people will love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But you better be like really, really win now because otherwise,
Yeah.
he's 39. You know.
I do like. I think the three that we mentioned are three really good ones: Lyle Devane and Alaric Freeman, and
there's a lot of other ones.
And Righty.
It's kind of hard to list them because you can't like sort by bird years or whatever way to figure it out. An easier way to do it, but
Right.
like Daryl Weeks, he could be like a good sleeper guy to pick up for somebody, even though he's a bit older. But
Also, don't forget about the international free agents this year.
yeah. Can you give us any little spoilers on anything that they're going to look
sneak
like?
preview.
Well, I'm guessing that Andrew Harrison's brother, Aaron Harrison, will be the best one.
All right.
He's a shooting guard, I think.
You think he'll be like a combo guard, maybe
Kinda-
like kind of
yeah.
like his brother, his bro.
And there's a big man, Steven Adams. I think he's supposed to be pretty good. I have to look at information on these guys still before I input them.
All right.
And there's Kobe Brearley, obviously. It's a
Oh,
7-foot outside shooting expert, the Australian sensation.
I think this is going to be the season where Satnam Singh Barama turns his career around.
I was hoping it'd be the season where he finally fucking goes away and people stop wasting time. I guess at least he's actually developed his rebounding.
Yeah. I mean, he could do at least one thing now. So
Yeah. Who would have thought that 7'8", 250-pound guy would finally learn that? Oh, I can just reach up and grab these fucking rebounds. Like
I've got another guy I like in a free agency, even though I know I think Hodge has hated on him before in the past. It's Hector Troop.
Troop is
I haven't
decent.
hated on him before. I just don't think
Someone
he should
has.
start.
Someone has. I forget.
It's probably
I don't
me.
think he should be a starter, but I think he could be a
But
very
he has
good
no bird years. That's the thing.
I think
You
he's.
gotta-
I think he's a lot better at like a small forward type role than power forward. He just cannot rebound for shit.
No.
No,
I
he's
think
not a
he'd
starting
be
big
better as a forward off the bench, like both spots as a forward.
I agree, but he's a good guy to get in free agency though, because you got to look at these guys with no bird years. That's what it comes down to. In
That's
free
the
agency.
key. That's
Yeah,
the key.
he would
You got to
definitely
do your research.
up for that. You have to carefully examine every free agent. Or guys like not like Juana Bale or Kyle Wiltshire, or guys on teams where you know they're going to be distracted, and maybe you can sneak them onto your team. Like a guy like Juana Bale could be good off someone's bench.
Any team that has cap and is going to wait a day or two to sign any of their guys, those are another team you want to look at.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Kevin Bowman, Wiltshire and Bale, those are
Marcus
three guys
Teague.
that,
Marcus Teague.
Teague.
yeah, Teague. teams that got that money,
Yeah.
as they say.
Justin
Dex-
Bibbins.
Dexter Strickland could be all right.
CJ Leslie.
Blake Griffin.
CJ Leslie, he's going to be a hot candidate. I've heard some teams are really going to.
I bet somehow he's going to go to waivers again for like the 11th consecutive year of his career.
I think people realize his value now, and he's a very valuable starting power forward.
I thought they'd realize his value after the year of the Kings when he had like 12 rebounds a game, but it didn't happen. So
you would
I don't
think
know.
so. 12 rebounds and 4 blocks a game, and he still hit waivers the next season.
I've always been a huge CJ Leslie fan.
I have too.
His percentages are always good, and he's a good rebounder. So.
I'll make a prediction. CJ Leslie will be the starting power forward of the Oklahoma City Thunder next year.
Ooh.
Cookie crisp. I think Seth is actually going to be pushing really hard to get him back. So
I just don't know how much he can offer.
They'll both bid the MLE. I bet he'll get 2 MLEs from those two teams.
Yeah.
But Baldwin's going to have to roll out his MLE if he really wants Leslie that hard.
Seth just told us, Seth said in the chat that he's going to go really hard after Leslie, so maybe the prediction's kind of off.
Yeah.
He's finally going to get paid after 11 years.
Hopefully.
League minimum hard work cleaning the boards and putting putbacks in or whatever he's shooting. I don't know what he shoots, but he's good. He's efficient.
Yeah, I like him.
I like that he doesn't shoot like 35%. I mean, look at his career numbers. He's a good shooter and he rebounds good and he gets a lot of blocks.
He just doesn't shoot very often, which is fine because it's better. I'd rather have someone score 4 points a game when that's not their strong suit than score 8 because they jacked up.
He knows what he can do and he does that.
Yeah.
That's it.
I swear, probably like 95% of his shot attempts are putbacks on rebounds.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Definitely. It's kind of like I thought Perry Ellis was heading in that direction in his career, but then he sort of nosedived pretty bad.
Yeah, Ellis is pretty awful.
Oh man, Patrick Young is still in the league.
Yep, he sure is.
Really?
Man.
Patrick Young, the former Wizard great.
7 years. He's probably my longest tenured guy ever.
Probably
had in this league. Well, maybe Tony Parker might be second, but 7 years, 6 of them in a row. I think I finally traded him after 6 years of re-signing him every year, hoping to add him as a throw-in.
I think someone's going to take a shot this year on Chris Martin, too, and see if his attributes will ever pan out.
That's horrible. He's like another Drew Holiday.
Hey, Drew had a good year this year.
He's worse than Drew.
Okay, buddy.
Come on now.
Let's not be hating on him.
I like Drew Holiday a lot more than Chris Martin. Drew Holiday's actually had good years in his career. Like the year of the Jazz. He had that one good year of the Jazz.
And that
I got a question for you guys. If you had to rank the team order of who's going to make the biggest impact in free agency, what would they be? Like top 5.
I'm going to say Washington Wizards, number 1.
I'll say JB probably makes the biggest impact. I think he's gonna surprise.
I don't like the way he historically handles his free agency.
That's a very good point because he usually botches it.
Well, yeah, but that's usually when he doesn't.
I'm gonna go with Cleveland because why not? I don't really like any of the teams that have the free agency because their GMs are rather hit and miss for the most part. I mean, Dub's a good GM, but I don't know with his work and stuff, it's gonna be kind of tricky for him.
Very good point. Yeah.
I would easily go with Dub. I think Dub probably could make the biggest splash if he could be on later than 5 p.m. So
I'm gonna. I guess with Magoo, I don't know. Maybe Seth might actually have the best free agency. He's got the money, so.
Well, I mean, if Seth can just max one good person, his team is pretty solid. So.
Yeah, he needs a point.
Yeah, he does. He needs a point guard, but he also needs a big man.
Yeah, and Ty just can't.
I'd rather get a point guard first if I was him.
But there's really no point guards.
What point guard is he going to max LJ Rose? I mean, is it really worth it?
Right.
Yes, he's worth it.
I would rather max a guy like Song New and take a chance than waste all my cap.
I'd have to say, of all the scenarios to plug LJ Rose into, the Heat is one of the best ones he could be put in because his defense won't matter because he's going to have 2 high-end defensive guys.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's
that can
true.
Score. He can throw it to them. He won't have any pressure because he'll be the third guy. He'll be. But
I don't think he'd have the cap to max or to match the max on him because he's got a lot of bird years.
Who are you talking about?
LJ Rose.
Oh,
LJ Rose has got 10 bird years on him. His max is going to be more.
Yeah, you're right. It's 18.9.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that. Well, no.
Never mind. He's been around 10 years already. That seems like a long time.
Yeah. But he's still only 29. He's still got some good years left in him. I think Reedy would be a good fit for Seth and his offense there.
You could
I agree, definitely.
You could take a gamble on Reedy.
Well, with that defense, I mean, the worst that's going to happen is he's going to bolster up his defense anymore. He can't be worse than
He'd fit in with the rest of his motif. I mean, he loves defense, so he's obviously a good fit for that team.
We've never seen what Reedy can do. He played 11 games at 6.6 minutes a game last year. So
I can see him picking up Reedy. He's a good fit.
I think that'd be a great fit for him.
You know what's going to happen with Reedy? He's going to end up being one of those guys that happens every year, and one of those guys who just gets terribly overpaid because of a bidding war, because of his youth and his defense.
Like a BJ Young sort of scenario.
Yeah.
He'll get over $10 million a year, probably.
I hope not. I hope that Seth can get him cheap and then still afford to re-sign someone like Leslie and maybe go after someone else too. So
I'd be shocked if he's not in the seven figures next year, or whatever number of figures, or what?
7.
How many figures?
It's 7. It's 7.
No, but I think he could get $10 million. He could be a $10 million guy.
Right, which would be 7.
Did you notice what school he went to, Hosh? You see what school he went to?
I went to Canada University. Okay.
No, Rady, what school you went to?
I know, that's another reason I like him. He's a Mac boy.
Yeah.
I like his rebound too.
I think he's decent. I think he's good.
I'm really high on him.
His greed is really high, 96, so he's just going to take the biggest money offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's greedy in EBL.
Yeah.
Regardless of their greed rating, most of them are going to take the highest offer, except for the odd big name that leaves randomly.
Yeah, we've had one or two.
Yeah, more than one or two.
Well,
actually,
I think the team to really watch out for is probably Toronto.
Really?
I feel like they're not far away. They got Larry Austin, they got LeBron Jr. now, they got Nate Stout, they got Ernest Fowler.
Yeah,
I mean, if he adds one or two quality players, look out for Toronto.
I really like Greg Gray too. I'm gonna say I hated trading away. I hated trading.
Say that
Gray.
every podcast.
I know, and it's gotta click eventually with people.
Get off his balls, man. Greg Gay's done. You should call him Greg Gay.
I like him more than I like Stout. That's.
Oh,
wow.
Come on.
Now you're being a homer.
If I had to start one of them, it would be Greg Gray.
Now you're just being ridiculous.
Yeah, alright, you can leave now. That was just silly.
Alright. Well, this podcast...
silly talk. This podcast is over now. It's all, everybody out of the pool.
That's
Pets is still my trade Larry Austin, though, so it depends on what all he gets for him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because he can
I think, because he's so much older than the rest of them, but he's only 28, but he's, obviously, the rest of the team is rebuilding. Yeah. And it's really a matter of can they be built back up fast enough before Austin plateaus.
But say you add like Song New to this team, then how good are they?
They're pretty good, I think.
That would obviously help quite a bit.
But
I'd rather have Joe Break, but he
doesn't need Joe Break. He's got LeBron. He doesn't need Joe Break.
Unless LeBron doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah. But
I think LeBron will be a six-man extraordinaire.
I like them more with Austin and Break starting with Fowler and Stout than I like Song and Stout or Song and Fowler and LeBron and Austin.
I think he could play Fowler at small forward and still be good.
Yeah, that's true. He's got the handling for it. It's just you never know about his defense. I don't know what his defense is in small forward.
I don't know. I personally always value guards over big men.
Well, me too.
That's just my prejudice.
Me too, but I mean, if you don't need it, then
Yeah, he's banking on LeBron.
Yeah,
he's banking huge on LeBron. He can't just sign Joe Break and push LeBron to the bench right away.
Well, LeBron could also be moved up to small forward, though.
Yeah.
But I guarantee
on the bench.
Yeah. I guarantee he starts LeBron and makes him an option right away.
Probably. That'll probably happen. Unless he has a terrible TC.
I drafted Cole and I still signed a point guard. I signed two guys that were basically point guards.
Yeah, but you started Cole for most of the season.
Yeah, but not at point guard. I started him out of position at small forward.
That still counts as starting.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have started him if I had the option to put someone else at small forward. He wasn't ready to start last year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, valid.
He was unprepared. Although we still are pretty good, considering all things considered. But I guess that's about it. I don't know. I can't think of any other free agent shenanigans worth mentioning.
Yeah.
I can't wait till free agency's over. It's a disaster on me as a commissioner.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, putting in all the bids and people changing. And,
I swear I get like 8 or 9 PMs of what to do in case I get outbid on the last minute. Yeah, I mean, PM and realize, wait, did he get outbid? What the hell happened here? Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's why I'd rather have unannounced times, because then it cuts down on the random bidding. Like, I just feel like it'll happen on this day at some time, and then just randomly, bam, it happens. All bidding's closed.
Just cut it off randomly.
And, yeah, because it's at the last minute bids are just.
Yeah, because then you can't have the assholes who just sit around.
Yeah, they just piss me off to no end. Like I really I genuinely get enraged when people do that.
Yeah, are you gonna quit this year, Hodge, if it happens to you again?
Well, no, I don't have cap anymore, so it's not gonna bother me.
Well, it might happen with the mid level or something.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna care because I can't match the mid level.
What if like Rakeem Christmas gets outbid last second and you aren't here?
Well, yeah. It's not as bad because I can just say bid the max on him and I won't care.
True.
I don't care if I get the max.
Under.
I'd rather have just like no announced time, just like the days. Like at some point tomorrow.
That wouldn't go over well though. People would get so pissed because.
Oh yeah, it'd be so bad.
They'd be yelling at me like, "What the hell? I didn't have time to bid."
I would proposition it.
You're playing favorites. You ended the bid when you knew I wasn't on, and.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than people getting screwed over on the last minute because some guy's sitting there with his finger on the add reply button, counting down the seconds.
But that's why you could send a PM to me, though. That's intended to help offset that.
I mean, for sure, I'd rather have someone be mad at Mofo than me get screwed over. So whatever.
Yeah.
But
these are the burdens you have to bear for my dream to come true.
So what do you guys think is the over-under on how many maxes Dustin Slayton's going to get this offseason?
Oh, God.
Because I know there's going to be at least...
It depends how fast Break and the other guy, Break and New are signed. Because he could be the next highest guy on the rookie expiring list.
I think Slayton's going to get a max on day one from someone.
Well, do we think that Moran's willing to go up to a max and to bring him back?
I think,
absolutely.
Yeah. I think if someone else puts a max on,
he kind of laughed.
Why not? I've seen guys way worse than Dustin Slayton get a max.
Yeah.
But when I told him about it in the re-sign to him, he was laughing about it like there's no way he's going to do it.
Yeah, but that's when there's no one else bidding on it.
I don't know. I like Dustin Slayton, so
I hate Slayton. I think he's one of the worst like superstars in EBL.
Well, I don't think he's a superstar. I just think he's.
Well, whatever you want to call him, he's the worst one of those.
Worst one of those. I don't know. I don't really get the hatred for him.
Whatever.
His percentages have gone up every year, even with him shooting more.
But his points fell 3 last year. I don't care what his percentages are. You can't fall in points per game.
Well, he also fell in 2 minutes per game also, so.
Not that much. It's only like 2.
Yeah.
Things weren't. It was different because he had a Nairn on the team. I think of Blodgett, his scoring will go back up because Blodgett's more of a distributor.
I don't think he could ever be a consistent 20-point per game guy. You know who he reminds me of? He's Xavier Henry.
LJ Rose, the small forwards.
Xavier Henry. Yep, Xavier Henry. That's exactly what I was going to
say. He's already more consistent than Xavier Henry.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He's had back-to-back years where he's had more than 18.
No, that's about. Matter of fact, if I can find Xavier Henry, I can guarantee
he's a free agent.
Oh, is he a free agent? Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't want to re-sign for anything, and they still.
Yeah, Henry had 24, 14, 11, 20, 19, 15, 18. I mean, that's what Dustin Slayton's going to be.
Yeah, it really looks about the same.
I'd take a chance on Slayton personally,
ahead
of some of the guys that are free agents.
I mean, Slayton's he's definitely a capable starter. He's not the worst starter in the league.
Yeah, he's a good starter, but that's all he is. He's never going to be better than that.
Yeah.
Never going to be better than good.
I don't think you should build a team around him.
I'm not saying he's a superstar. I'm saying he could be a really good starter.
He can be a good starter.
And
really
he's still
good at
got
stretching.
some upside, but
yeah.
I don't know. I like his handling. It's nice. his rebounding should be better for a guy that's 6'10" and 240 pounds.
I like that one attribute that he has. That's nice.
Oh, he's got good all-around.
I hate his inside scoring. His inside scoring is way too low for a small forward.
Yeah. Yeah, well, but then again, you have guys like Virgil who have, B- inside, and he scores 24 points a game, so.
True, but he's a better outside shooter.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think Slayton will get 2 or 3 max bids on him, probably. Even more if he's there day 2 and solid.
I think Daniel Ochefu is going to be a nice pickup for somebody, too. Now that he's got no bird years, some idiot cut him.
Oh, I hate Ochefu. I hate him. I hate him so much.
And Cameron Clark, too, could be a nice...
Why'd you trade for him if you hate him so much?
Well, hey, I didn't really like him in the deal. I just wanted... What did you
get in that deal anyway?
I don't know. I just wanted to trade.
Some guys.
Yeah, I definitely got something. Who was it that I liked in that deal? I liked, I got Birch and the 2 firsts.
Birch in the first, I guess.
Yeah. That's really why I wanted to do it. And Coleman. I like Coleman too. I like his rebounding. I don't like him as a starter, but I think off the bench he provides some value, so.
I thought you meant Coleman, the one on the Magic for some reason.
No.
No, not that one. Definitely not that one.
Yeah.
And nobody wants Aaron Coleman.
MSC likes him a lot, though.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he could be an all-right combo guard, sort of. He's kind of looks like Dorian Finney-Smith.
I like Jimmy Guerrero a lot more than I like Coleman.
I probably agree with you. I probably agree with Tyler.
Yeah.
Well, why?
I don't like either of them, but I think Guerrero's got better talent.
I think he shoots better.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Coleman better. I like his handling is more solid to be a combo guard, and his defense is slightly better.
He looks like Alex Murphy and all those other guys who never really panned out, except for that 1 year that Alex Murphy had.
Have you guys heard of any trades going down? Because I've heard of a few.
I've heard of a few.
I heard that I could trade Tyreek Evans, but nobody seems to be interested in him, so I don't see it happening. I really wish I would have made that trade last year.
CC's got 3 trades lined up already.
Yeah, I know. He just
blowing up his team again.
He always changes up his team just so much. And
I don't understand what he's like the new trade whore, basically.
Yeah, I mean...
He's the trade whore. Shadow hasn't made a trade in feels like 2 years since he's made a trade.
I know. What's Shadow doing? Where are you at, Shadow? What's up?
Well, he doesn't really need to do much. I don't know. I like his team.
Well, he's never...
It's a matter of waiting, really.
No, Shadow has to do 2 things. He has to, one, get
center.
He has to get a dominant rebounder.
Yeah.
And 2, he has to hope that Jones or Beck have a huge training camp to become a big scorer.
Well, I think they will have it. I think they'll both have big training camps.
Well, if they both have big training camps,
yeah.
He's the best in the league if they both have training camps, even better than Denver.
Yeah.
I think he just needs a center that can rebound and play defense, and a couple bench guys here and there. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, good.
Ride it out for a couple years because they're all really young.
I know he's trying to get one though because he asked me about Birch. So
he's trying. It's kind of hard because he doesn't have as many assets. But
right.
once he could trade 2 picks, I'm sure he could find a placeholder to throw in there.
That's what he was trying to do with me. He was trying to wait until after the draft so he could give me 2 firsts.
He was asking me about Christmas. Maybe I can get 2 firsts for Christmas.
Let's not push your luck here, buddy.
I think you could. I think Shadow's pretty desperate.
Yeah, that's true.
If he had somebody else that was decent that I could get out of his free agents, I would too, but I don't like any of them.
You're getting 2 firsts for Christmas. I mean, come on.
No, I want more, though. I want everything I can get out of him.
What about Montañez? Do you like Montañez at all?
Who?
His center.
The center he has now.
I don't know. I don't think Montañez isn't what he needs as a starter at center.
No, I mean in a trade for Christmas, for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could trade for him. I could take a chance on him. I mean,
I guess.
I don't know. I don't really feel it as much with him.
Anytime you talk about a player and you say, I guess you got to do it.
All right?
Yeah, I might as well take him too. Why not?
So enthusiastic.
You can always
I'll take him, Tony Parker, fat Tony Parker, I mean, and his 2 firsts. For Christmas.
You could always take a chance on Cody Zeller in free agency. He's got A rebounding now, so that's that.
You could always take a chance on Blake Griffin.
The
legend of underachieving mediocrity.
All right.
No, but I think if the Grizzlies get like a center, it's done.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of waiting.
Yeah.
Because I think Beck and Jones will be fine. I don't see I don't know what the big panic is about. I think on other teams they would already be scoring more. It's just there's a lot of balance. There's a lot of talent.
He doesn't have that much balance. He has Fleming at 22, Clay at 17, but then the other guys, he could easily have a 25 point per game score on that team, but he doesn't have one.
Yeah, I agree. I think Beck will take a big step. I think Beck's going to be the one that breaks through.
I think it'll be Jones.
All right, we'll see.
I think both of them will be pretty good. And Fleming will get his scoring back up, and Clay will revert into more of a distributor.
Clay is great. I mean, Clay's not an issue.
But it all depends. If they get a center that can rebound, that'll just help the scoring everywhere. Because if you don't get rebounds, you're just not going to score as much because you don't get as many second chances to shoot.
Right.
And I mean, his guys are efficient, but you need second chances once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a big problem with his team is rebounding.
Yeah, I mean that's
the problem.
That's
the problem.
A center can resolve that pretty quickly.
Pretty quick. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Grizzlies are definitely a team to watch out for this year. So
I think they're a team to watch out for like a long time to come.
Yeah, them and Denver, they're just gonna rule the West.
Yeah, but once a trade whore, always a trade whore. You never know how long Shadow's going to wait until he blows it up.
Yeah,
he's waited this long. He's so close. He's just got to wait like 2 more seasons.
That's a lot to ask of him.
It is asking a lot. It's asking a lot of me to do that. But I don't know. I don't know about Denver for that many more seasons. Irving will eventually go down in a
Doesn't
team
matter.
seat.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
No, you have Wiggins, you have Pierre Lewis. They're both like 22, whatever.
All he needs is Pierre Lewis, apparently, because he won a title with Pierre Lewis alone.
That's true.
Yeah, Wiggins is just a bonus.
That actually made me really depressed.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why? Why am I even bothering?
But I don't think people realize how good Domingo Southern was in the playoffs. He was as good as Wiggins.
I don't think people realize how that Lewis is so good that he made Domingo Southern better just by playing next to Lewis. Because Lewis was double teamed by every pair of swingmen. Domingo's just shooting open looks all day.
But I really don't think Wiggins could have played any better than Domingo did.
I think he could have. I think they would have. I think they just would have swept every series instead of winning a couple in 7 games.
What did Domingo average? Like 25, 9, and 5 in the playoffs.
I'm just not a big fan of Domingo.
He scored less than that. No, I think he's overrated.
I've had Domingo, so I'm a.
I think he just benefited a lot from playing with Lewis, like way more than people are giving him more credit than.
Yeah, all right. Here's the thing about Domingo. I will give it to him. He is a good scorer. He can score just fine, but I think on any other team, his defense would be a huge issue, and it just wasn't on a team with Pierre Lewis. So
good point. Very good point.
And Grant Jarrett and Sim Bueller and Knowles and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, when he is your only weak option, like defensively, then you're fine. But if he moves to a team, even if he moves to the Wizards, where you have guys, you have like Abrams and whatever.
Oh God, I don't even want to think about such a horrible scenario as
right.
that.
But I'm just saying, like on any other team, his defense would be a huge issue, but it just wasn't on Denver because their defense was that good, and his scoring could just be the only thing. I think he's a great off the bench player. I think the bench.
If you're going to run an inside offense, Tyler, you should look for him because that's what Bolo ran in the playoffs. He won the title playing inside offense.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And Domingo
you should probably look to get Pierre Lewis also.
Oh yeah, that would help.
Yeah. If only I would have had Pierre Lewis before. I don't.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Well, I think. Do you think Wiggins will be traded within the next 2 years? Because I think.
No, not at all.
You don't think he's ever going to trade him?
No.
I think Pierre Lewis would be traded before Wiggins.
Yep. That's exactly what I was about to say.
I don't know. I think Polo has this thing where once you hit once you're right about 30, he swaps out and reloads.
Polo also has a distinct loyalty for the players that he drafted and were his he
traded to Ned.
Yeah, but he got a really good deal for that. It would have to be something really good, I think.
I think Andrew Wiggins.
I think he'll get a really good deal for Wiggins too.
I think Wiggins is the most untradeable player in the league right now.
Yeah.
The least likely to be traded.
Wiggins, I think Wiggins is probably a top 3 player in EBL right now.
I don't know about that.
He averages 27 points a game. He shoots 47%, almost 10 rebounds a game at small forward, 5 assists a game at small forward.
Well, who else would you put up there? Pierre Lewis, and who else?
Tyreek Evans.
No.
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 I don't know.
Did you say Tyreek?
That's how you pronounce it from now
Oh,
on.
it is it?
Oh, I'm
it.
changing it up. What about Brendan Jennings? He's pretty good still.
No, not anymore.
Nice change the subject there. Adrian Cool, maybe? Page,
Nah.
maybe?
No,
say-
I'm not going to count Big Man in the top 3, even
would
if
say-
it's the best one.
Pierre Lewis is number 1. Then it's really a toss-up. I really have no idea. Rodney Purvis, I would say number 2 right now.
Yeah.
Just let the Celtics do it to the finals. He almost beat them.
Yeah.
That's true.
I can see
If you
it.
are the best point guard, that probably means you're one of the best players in this league, basically.
I guess
Yeah.
I could say Wiggins is number 3.
Yeah, I can't think of
Yeah.
anyone else.
Chris Thomas
It's
is pretty
this. They remind me so much of like the '90s Bulls. It's like scary, you know. You got like the Jordan. It's like literally Jordan, Pippen, and then the other guys that are around them that play defense.
good. What about Kirk Curran Iverson? You don't think he's top 3 anymore?
I don't think Karan's top 3.
Top 5?
Maybe.
Is he on now? I can't even remember.
Thunder.
Ah, yes, the Thunder.
That was a huge move for the Thunder to make them a title contender.
Yeah, absolutely. I might put Nenad in the top 5 before I put Karan.
Nah, I'd put Karan
Decent argument. Nenad's really good.
Yeah.
He's definitely a top 3 point guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I think Karan was affected by weird situations last year, bouncing around. I think especially with a point guard like Nenad, I think his scoring will jump right back near the 30s.
And that's
area.
I agree with you, definitely. He's still an elite player. And he's a proven Denver beater, or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And,
He's like the only proven Denver beater, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Lorenzo Clay.
Yeah,
That's
Clay
it.
can do it too.
Yeah, but I think Curran
They
made
somehow
Clay.
get together.
Curran
Well, I
really
don't
made Clay. Clay. The past 2 years. I mean, he's a great player, yes, but the past 2 years, the performances of the Grizzlies has really soured me a little bit on Clay
Yeah, that's true.
because he's had all that talent with him.
Wow. It's young talent, though.
Yeah, but
It's not fully
non-playoffs
polished
and then a
yet.
first round exit.
Yeah.
Well, they played a good team,
Yeah, but he got dominated.
When he picked those two guys in the top 5, I figured by the time those guys reach their last year of their contract, then they'll be ready. So maybe this year even they might be ready,
Yeah.
depending how their TC goes.
I do
think
like Chris Thomas as a top 5 EBL player though.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, he's a sleeper to add to the mix.
I never thought his career would pan out back when he started. I never thought
I never thought his shooting would get good enough because he was such a terrible 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Now he's become decent. I don't
No,
know.
he's still just as bad as always. He's just
His
Nah,
percentages are still crap, but he just scores like a lot.
He's better than ever at shooting threes though, because he attempted more and he made more, which shows that he's become better at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I still think it'd be better if he could actually play a shooting guard. He's still kind of small to play. It's small forward. I mean, he could do it because he's a good rebounder, but I don't know. Ideally, he would be a shooting guard, but that's not really the scenario that the Heat find themselves in.
Yeah, where they have Ross Falk who just magically pans out at shooting guard.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. That's great.
Just another point guard move to shooting guard.
Him and Harrison, they're the two trendsetters.
There could be many more that we don't even know about yet.
For a while, we had shooting guards who would move to point guard and become really good, and now it's opposite.
Yep. And then there's like Drew. I always wondered if Drew would do it, shooting guard.
Not good.
No?
No.
Have
He's
you
bad
ever?
he's bad enough a point guard. I don't think you want to move the shooting guard.
Ah, that's mean.
I like. I don't know. I like Harrison. I guess PJC was the first one to do it. Parker Jackson Cartwright, because he moved from point guard to shooting guard and then became an all-star.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And then he became sort of meh, but
Yeah.
now he's like a really good bench player.
Yeah.
And then people realize he can't play defense because he's 6'1".
Right.
Yeah.
And then John Wall. John Wall did it too.
He was
Yeah,
good for a little
that's
while, shooting guard.
Yeah. His career. I mean, he was done as a point guard. No one wanted him there anymore because of his handles, his turnovers.
Now
Yeah.
he's a champion.
Yeah.
Is, and he's a top 10 all-time in assists and points.
Yep.
And turnovers.
Yep.
Will he make the EBL Hall of Fame? Can he get in?
I doubt it.
No chance.
Not even an outside chance. Not that he's got a ring.
No.
He won't even be nominated. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
No, you're not even going to nominate him.
No, you kidding me? There's so many better point guards than him.
Yeah. I mean, with only one title on some of the teams that he was on, I mean...
That's like a garbage title, so you can't give him any credit for that title.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
That's like giving...
Okay, well, I guess he won't be in the Hall of Fame.
Who do you think will make it in for next class? Because, I mean, pretty much CP3 and LeBron are locks now, right?
Yeah, there's no way they can not get in now, I think.
Right, so I think that one's probably going to be closing.
I'd say Evans and Jennings seem like locks.
For the next class.
For the next class, though.
Andrew
Bynum. I'm going to say Andrew Bynum should get in.
I think he's talking about who's the next two who are going to get in.
Yeah, like who are...
After LeBron and Paul.
Yeah.
Which I think Carmelo is pretty much a lock.
Yeah, Carmelo. He should
and probably Durant. Probably Melo and Durant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say of guys in the league that are likely to retire, I'd say Bynum seems like a good candidate.
Yeah, because Bynum could be retired by next year.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard should be on that.
I don't know if I'd put Dwight Howard in. His career hasn't impressed me as much. I don't know. I feel like he should have done more.
EBL.
Yeah.
There's really no question he's the best center in EBL.
I think there's plenty of questions that there's better centers than him.
Not currently, but over...
Not of all time, either.
All time is I mean.
All time, name any center who's better.
Who's better than Dwight Howard in EBL?
Name one.
I don't know. He's just been
Not
so shitty. I guess I left the last few. I forgot about his first couple of years.
His first couple or his first 10? I mean...
Yeah, wow.
Look at his resume, all the awards he's won.
Yeah. He won that title with Orlando, or not with Orlando,
with Houston, I think.
Yeah.
No, with the Knicks.
Yeah.
With the Knicks.
Yeah, with the Knicks.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess he's probably a lock to get in. But as long as Bynum gets in, I'll be happy.
Why do you like Bynum so much? You never even had him.
I don't know. He's just so consistent. And he was on a lot of good teams. He's never won a title, but he's been on a lot of teams where he's gotten them far in the postseason, and he's just underrated for what he's
had a good career.
Yeah, I mean his averages is 17-12, 2 blocks a game, efficient shooting.
Now,
that's it.
Mofo, with the Hall of Fame, how many ballots are you gonna let guys be on before they're not allowed to be on them anymore?
Yeah, I haven't finalized that yet. I'm thinking maybe 5, something like that.
Yeah.
And when will Jason Richardson be added to it?
Probably never.
What about Jeremy Lin, the greatest undrafted player of all time? And by greatest, I mean longest tenured undrafted player of all time.
Probably in like 2071 or something like that.
Right.
Well,
and Otis Stone will have already been a Hall of Famer by then. So.
Oh God, no. Otis Stone couldn't carry Jeremy Lin's jockstrap. Okay.
Hey, Otis Stone is a playoff series winning player.
Playoff series winning, all rookie second team starting point guard.
Jeremy Lin never did that.
That's an anomaly that should not be mentioned ever again.
Yep.
Take it away from him.
He scored 31 points in a game before. Has Jeremy Lin ever done that? I don't think so.
Has Jeremy Lin ever played in a game before?
That's true. That's a good point.
He was an excellent guy in a tracksuit on the bench.
He looked damn good.
And a Rockets legend of like 15 seasons on that team.
Oh.
All
right,
I guess
is there anything else?
I
was about to say.
Yeah, it's already going on in like an hour 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's starting to get a little bit ridiculous.
All right, yeah, we should end it here.
Yeah.
All right.
Who wants to do the outro?
Tyler does.
No, I think Hodge wants to do it.
All right. This has been the Super Draft Preview, Current View, Preview, Free Agent, a bunch of stuff podcast.
We did a lot. We did Hall of Fame, and we did the draft, and we did free agency, and we did we did things. It was good.
We did all the things that were to be done.
Yes, I cannot think of one subject that went untouched.
Let's just hope this gets up within like 48 hours.
I'll let Hodge do it this time. So.
All right.
Do you want me to send you the music that I made for the last one? Because I think people preferred that to the one song looping. So.
Shut up. I could put music on. I'm gonna do actual like music this time.
I don't think music is that important as long as it just gets up.
I
find it makes it infinitely more tolerable to listen to.
I do like the instrumentals though. Someone pointed out to me that without lyrics in it, it really doesn't take away from us talking. So if you could find some good instrumentals, that'd be cool.
I guess, but with no music in the background, it's just it's unterrible.
I know. It's like watching something bad.
Yeah.
Like watching the EBL Kings play.
Oh. Get it? Because they're not very good.
Oh. It's like watching any playoff game as a Washington Wizards fan.
Oh.
Get it?
You only get to see at most 7 in a year, so.
Right. Yep. Get it? Because no second round. So.
Yeah, I get it, because we're not very good in the second round. So.
Alright, guys. This has been fun. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you, guys.
Second round. Bye.
Alright, fuck you guys.